Right, tonight, mech suits. And why Concierge said no yet again. Eason,
Ah,
you look like you're a massive mech lover. What do you love about it?
well, I think what it represents, like functionality wise, like we've got hover bikes, we've got four-wheeled vehicles, we've got two-wheeled vehicles, we've got ships. You know, what we don't have is stuff like enhanced EVA suits, jet packs, which they mentioned for that could be used if you jump out your ship, you get caught in gravity, you're falling, stuff to survive that. Mech suits kind of like adds that next sort of like what's the word, avenue for it improves also like anything from logistics to combat. It's really interesting. Yeah, a lot of people might look at this one and go, it's a gimmick, they're just trying to get money, but a lot of people have been waiting for mech suits for some time. Um, and the fact that they've just dropped them as quickly like this right now, I think it's a positive way to show how much is going on behind closed doors that we don't get to see. Um, so when people go, they're not doing anything. Well, this is evidence to suggest, yeah, they are doing a lot behind closed doors. Like they just dropped it. So yeah, it's a positive all round. I think. Let's just wait for the price tag.
No,
Mm,
100%.
that is what you're saying.
Yeah,
So I have
like
noticed there's been a lot of venom come from the community because obviously the tractor beams have recently received a bit of a nerf, and now they're like, well, you caused a problem and you've brought along the solution to the problem, but it comes with a price tag. Yeah, so I can
Yeah,
understand
but
why there's some frustration.
But
we
that's no
always
different. That's no different than what they always do, though. I kind of it
Yeah,
surprises me when people act brand new about that. Like
yeah
this, it's part of what they do, right?
I'm
They
gonna I'm
fix
gonna play. Go on.
something, and
but
then they come out with something that makes it easier, but you just gotta buy it.
I'm gonna play
I,
on the other side of the table for this. Sorry, some really quick.
go
Um,
for it.
so a small tractor beam picking up a 32 SU container was never going to be the end point of the game. Like using even the max lift tractor beams to pick up the 32 SU containers is unrealistic. You got to think they're designed to move your smaller boxes around, like your personal cargo. Right now, we've
Exactly.
got a placeholder of something that can move all the boxes because we haven't got anything else that's going to that can do that. But you got to think if you've got a 32 SU container, and if you fill it with titanium, for example,
All bodies.
you're
Case.
talking, yeah, or even bodies, to be fair. 32 SCUs worth of bodies inside a container, one measly human, yeah, the tractor beam might lift it, but the human's legs that are holding it won't. So I think there's an element of they're not nerfing it, they're slowly bringing it down in line to where it should eventually go, which is a handheld tractor beam. The multi-tool one is going to effectively be useless, and then the max lift is maybe going to move your ones, twos, maybe your 4SU containers, and
Yeah.
then the Argo ATLS is what's going to be moving your other boxes now and your other tractor beams and all that sort of stuff. So I don't think they're nerfing. They are nerfing it in the grand scheme of it, but it's not a nerf. It's a return to where they should be.
It's I completely agree with everything you just said there, because that they also have kind of, when they were bringing out the tractor beam tools, like the first time when they brought out the multi tools like first time round, like I'm pretty much sure on Inside Star Citizen they said this is not how it's going to be. Like a multi tool won't be able to lift a cyclone. You're going to need a bigger tractor beam for that. And then if you want to lift a ship, you're going to need a bigger tractor beam for that. Because if you don't, then things like the Argo SRV become useless and there's no point to them. And you need that diversity in there. So they have always said that this was going to happen. And yeah, I'm pretty sure we can find the evidence for that pretty quickly if we needed to. Um, yeah.
Where are they
Just
going to
keep
go from here, though?
keep
Are they going to bring out?
what, in terms of tractor beams or like?
No, with the mechs, are they going to be looking at potentially different manufacturers coming into the fold, different applications for the mechs? Are we going to see?
Great mech.
Like, can you imagine an
You just
anvil
made me
mech?
hard. You
Like,
just got me there.
Anvil mech will be juicy as. I think with Pyro on the way, you will see, and also like I think you're going to see different variants of mechs, and they're going to be customizable. Like you'll see a gang that's like, for want of a better word, into BDSM or something like that, and they have like whips and chains and stuff like tied to them. Or you have a military, you have the UEE mechs that will have rocket launchers and stuff. You know, there's a lot of leeway for where they could take this.
I think it's going to purely be off of community input now. They've released them. If people say, yeah, let's get other manufacturers or let's get other role mechs, then yeah, they'll probably do it. I don't think they should, or if they do, they need to do some serious balancing on the idea. Because imagine having a humanoid, maybe a little bit bigger sized mech with a ballistic scattergun and full armor, just walking into Jumptown inside the buildings. Maybe if they were too big to go inside, but then it kind of makes them null and void, I think. But yeah, I mean, thinking about it now, I would love a Drake mech, but I mean, who wouldn't? And then you've got an Origin mech. It's just like a mech standing there and there's a bed on the top, and you can lay in it and just get like chauffeured around by someone else that's piloting the mech. But I think actually we could potentially see, like you said, you mentioned on like the UEE variant of it. I would love to see a UEE variant that you can't purchase, but you could potentially, if you killed the pilot, you could then steal the mech and then keep it yourself. And it might open up the avenues for not necessarily different manufacturers, but different gangs having the mechs and then like having ragtag sets. So like this one mech's got the shoulder of a UEE with like the shoulder like a rocket shoulder mounted like rocket pod on it, and then it's got like a pirate like actually like a pirate like hook like saber like a cavalry saber or something on the other arm and it's just a mixed compilation of like different parts of mechs all thrown together.
Yeah.
I think that could be quite cool, but like not you can't buy those. Maybe you can craft them. Maybe this what it is. Maybe this is an introduction to what the first craftable vehicles are going to end up being.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because like I think with base building on the way, they will have a mech that is there for base building. You'll have like a tool or something on the arm that helps you build like small modules and stuff like that. That would make complete sense to me.
Maybe this is going to be the one of the smallest building things. You can get your blueprint and then you just like go around and just spanner and tinker with this mech. Maybe
Yeah.
could be quite cool. But
Has anyone found out what the left arm is for yet?
I can see what my left arm's for.
It's like I think
Drinking, obviously.
yes. I think it's like the 3 seashells in Demolition Man, you know. If you don't know what it's for, then you're just not meant to be in that time. Because everyone
Yeah.
knows the 3 seashells.
It'd be good if the left arm was for like holding, maybe. If it can go down and pick up like a 1SU box and then the tractor beam can like pick up another one and negotiate around.
I mean, think of where they could potentially take this with the work on like the bounty hunting system happening. Can you imagine a mech suit that's designed purely for like bounty hunting, going into like a cave, tasering like a few people, and then you've got a compartment on there where you could just strap a guy to the side of you, and it's you just walk back to the ship, and then you put them in there. Like I'm definitely gonna think that they'll do some sort of like medical evac, like mech or something like that.
That could be
There's,
quite cool. Yeah, that would be pretty decent.
but yeah, I think one of the things that they might be doing with Squadron 42 on just around the corner is like they'll probably have combat variants there the most exciting thing is seeing the locomotion of the player inside the vehicle, and like they've got that working. They've got a really cool entry animation getting in there. Like it's like all the hard work's done. Just adding parts onto that and having it being able to shoot, that's not going to take much time to sort out.
It's quite finessed, isn't it? It looks really like polished.
Yeah,
And as granted, I know when you're in the mech and you're walking, there is an element of head bobbing, and I hate that. But I mean, I suppose it's a somewhat realistic sandbox, and you're not going to be able to get rid of that.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things that every FPS I ever go into, first thing you do is go into graphics settings and just turn head bobbing down to 0.
Yeah.
But now we've got that.
I mean,
Yeah, it can go nowhere.
I mean, any of you guys here or any of the people in chat, if they know like Warhammer, you know, the Terminators with like the missile pods and stuff like that on their shoulders, like I would love to see a variant of like the mech that's got missile pods. That would probably be like an AA variant or something like that. So
That'd be
you've
cool.
got like a size 3 gun that you're holding for infantry, and then on the top you've got like AA that you could just go like shoulder fire and just take out ships. I mean, that will be pretty damn sick.
Where do you think they'll stop though? Like, are we going to see like Pacific Rim like size mechs?
I
Are
doubt.
we going to see
I doubt it.
big ones?
Like combine everything and you turn into a T-Rex.
Yeah, you say you doubt it. I doubted they'd ever bring any form of mech into the game to start with. I know they mentioned it, but I actually really didn't notice that curveball that they've thrown in. And in the space of a week as well, they teased and released it. Effectively released it.
Well, I think they're
Very shit.
also. I think they're also. They're also
Running
backed
out of
into a
money.
corner to a certain degree. No, no, they're not running out of money. I do think that they're kind of backed into a corner and they needed to do something because you know
Especially
the
with
beehive was getting restless.
yeah, but the I don't know how
Beehive.
up to date you were keeping with sort of like the general news, but the Evocati themselves weren't necessarily getting restless, but everyone's getting restless about them because they were not testing properly. You know, when the patch came out and it went to PTU and it was a steaming pile of shit, and everyone's like, why is this even released into PTU to start with? It should have just stayed in Evocati. But that's because someone said that there was like a percentage of Evocati players even on. Like no one was like on and testing. So I
Yeah,
think this is a drive to get some Evocati members back in. They've given them something super exclusive that only they can spawn in for the meantime to
In the
get them back
beginning,
in for that 0.24 testing.
Evocati made sense,
Yeah.
right? But now the player base is so broad that it no longer makes any sense.
Yeah.
Put the build together, put it on the PTU first wave with the caveat of, hey, this is rough. You know, you have
really
a bigger pool of
rough.
people. You have a bigger pool of people to pull from, right?
Yeah.
And to get to do things. Because I think I I don't believe that I would be alone in saying that I wonder what the point of the Evocati is when the patch comes out and it's still just as broken as it was when it was an Evocati.
That's true.
I feel like
I
they make greater strides when it goes to the PTU wave 1, wave 2 in fixing things than it seems that they do when they're doing.
the only sort of counter to that point, I think, is somewhat trying to play devil's advocate on the situation, but the sheer amount of traffic is probably one of the biggest reasons why the servers shit themselves, and the reasons why a lot of changes happen between that like wave 2, wave 3, or wave 1, wave 2, whatever, is because of the amount of actual people that they get in playing the game. It actually shows you those issues. Whereas I suppose if you're on an Evocati server with what should be, what is it, 150 people, and it's only actually like 15 people on this Evocati server, and probably most of them are devs. Like, I don't think that they're not getting that traffic that they should be getting. And as soon as it goes to wave 1, and it's like 5,000 people just playing it simultaneously, it's probably going to shit itself.
Well, and that's what I mean, right? Like,
Yeah.
it has to be fixed anyway. So
Well,
just start from the point where you get the more traffic, and you can kind of get ahead of all that.
yeah.
I definitely think that there is some argument there for making it more flexible. Like I've been backing since 2013, and purely for things like my job. When I was first playing as well, I was at uni, so there was things in real life that took priority, but I would be more inclined to spend time if they actually gave me like access to Evocati, and I would probably like put in an extra 2 hours a day because I believe in this project and I want to put in the time. But they just offer it to people that know life it, and then all of a sudden those people probably just go off because they've got burnout or they found something that's more enjoyable for a short period of time. So I think Evocati either needs to go straight to PTU, and like the first wave is the people that get their chance, and people have the option to buy into that if they want to. Like I'm still subscribing. I've been subscribing for like 10 years or more now. Like, I would love to do that, but they're just like, no, we got to keep it to this small group, and I guess that's because they're trying to like split things up. And
Yeah,
The
I
waves
think
don't seem to make much sense
Evocati-
unless it's a scalable event. So when they're testing like loads on
Yeah.
the servers, that's where the waves really should come into play. Otherwise, it should just be like, if you have to have the Evocati part, then so be it. But then all waves go live at the same time.
Yep.
Is the am I right in assuming that the Evocati are pretty much the content creator group?
No.
So
They
they're
weren't.
not
Now they
They-
are.
now,
yeah,
So, but that's I think the one of the issues that you probably have with content is all of these streamers and other content creators are trying to make their own content as well as trying to juggle the Evocati at the same time.
yeah.
Why to be fair, why don't we just not restrict it being streamers and media content creators? Why don't we actually look at the analytics for it? And if someone puts in more hours on the PTU and issues more issue council reports on the PTU than content creators do, why aren't they Evocati over the content creators that don't go on the test server anyway because they're too busy making their own content for the game?
Yeah.
Well, most of the content creators that, at least that I've been watching, have all been their stance on the, being Ibakati is like, yeah, it's nice, but I don't go on there. So it's like, well, what was the point of giving it to them?
Maybe,
Kind of like
yeah.
what was the point of saying no to me for the 8th time? But that's neither here nor there.
Well, why don't they just create like a content creator program that Evocati is completely separate? Evocati are the first testers on everything, and then when it's due to get released to PTU, just give the content creators like a couple of days NDA access to the Evocati test servers, or rename it to another server. They've got so many game like clients now with like Hotfix and Tech Preview and Evocati, PTU, and all that crap. Why don't they just give the content creators a couple of days before so they can make their content in Evocati, and then once it goes to PTU, then it's no different to anyone else. Then they can release all their content and all that. Why don't we actually have people that want to test in Evocati?
I think there's a danger of making the subscription sort of like irrelevant, and I think people that subscribe, they're putting money in to the point that it should be like, yeah, if you're subscribing, you should be at the forefront of what we're developing and what you can test, even alongside Evocati. Let's open it up. Let's get more data in. 'Cause I think we were discussing this the other night, and when it comes to new features that are coming in, for example, we've seen a lot. We've seen flight model change. We've seen, um, you know, a lot of balancing from ships, and there's a lot of, CRG's language has changed over time. Like originally, it's like, yeah, the new flight model is great, but we're actually, we've got some room to improve. And then you look on Spectrum and you're seeing a lot of people going, no, I'm actually hating this. Like master modes is not really effective at the moment. And I think that's because you're getting a lot of content creators going in there, and these are people that aren't entirely passionate about that type of gameplay, and they're not giving an opinion that probably connects directly. They might not know what needs to be done for that. So, you need more people there to get an accurate estimate of how a gameplay is meant to feel.
Sure.
So,
going back to the whole mech release, I found this earlier from Dark Law, which points out quite accurately that it's an exosuit and not a mech. And to be honest, when I heard there was a mech coming, my heart skipped to Metal Gear Solid 1, where you enter that sort of hangar right at the end of the game, and there's this big Metal Gear in front of you that you can get in and you can do all sorts of stuff with. That's the sort of level that I was hoping we were going towards, not the sort of like Transformers, the movie from 1986 with the dude in sort of like the exosuit. But yeah, I think it's quite an accurate statement.
Yeah, definitely.
His wallet is ready. My wallet would be ready for that. Absolutely.
I definitely would. I think I'll change my language now for that exosuit. Cool.
And then the other side of things is, would you be disappointed if you found out that this exosuit was actually one of the 7 unannounced ships? If it's being classed as a ship?
No, I wouldn't be disappointed, honestly, because I think it's, we've got a lot of ships, and I don't think they can keep bringing out more combat ships. I mean, I would welcome them, but right now we need to see new things that sort of get their creative hats like spinning. Because we've had just like the Saber Peregrine is a really good example of a ship that's come out at the wrong time, in my opinion, because racing's not in a good place. And I would love to see the figures of how many people have actually bought that ship, because I know I've not bought it, and I like these ships.
I love Aegis. I love racing. I've not bought it. I don't think you both have bought it either, have you?
I bought the skins.
Nope.
I picked everything up with like store credit. That's it. Alright, it'll get melted.
Yeah.
I will buy it, but not right now.
I see.
And is that because of how it looks, or is that because of the current state of gameplay? Like, what's your reasoning for that?
Oh, neither. I don't actually care for the ship at all.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I'll buy it, fly it, realise it's pointless. It's a racing ship, so what we're going to use it for in the verse? A daily driver. We ain't going to use it for racing, let's be real. It can't race around many of the tracks because it's too fat.
Yeah, but the racing isn't even set up for it yet.
No, exactly. So it's going to be a daily driver, and it's a bit of a naff daily driver in it. It can't
shoot
hold
back.
boxes. Yeah, can't shoot back. Can't hold boxes. It can get there quickly. So if you want to shuttle up and to and from the station, then yeah, great. But
you could do certain bunker missions with it.
There is a danger that they bring out an alien ship that can go much faster, right? Like, or something that will come out and beat the speed that it does. So if it's got one point of failure, like if speed is its only thing, it's just, I just don't get it. But the exosuit I totally get, because it's a nice price point. It really makes life easier for loading cargo, and you can have a lot of fun with it. So yeah, I would definitely have 2 of them in my hangar, just for people to load stuff into ships.
What ship do you think couples with it perfectly? Where can you see yourself using?
Like, I could see probably like C2 or like the whole series. Like, I can imagine getting these exosuits, being out in space, and just having like friends deployed in 2 of them, maybe even 4 if you've got a bigger ship, just being on the side, just loading stuff really quickly, and then sort of like going EVA and like attaching it to the cargo grid of the hull D, or something like that.
I don't believe they can go EVA.
Not yet, but
no,
not this variant anyway.
Yeah.
I would actually love if you could attach it to a cargo grid, because then you could fly your whole C down to planetary side, and then use the tractor beam of the whole C to tractor beam your Argo ATLS off, and then use the Argo ATLS to offload everything onto other parts. So I think that'd be pretty cool. I think the best part of the ATLS, though, I think what I'm want to try, is having a ton of them lined up in the bomb bay of the Retaliator.
Drop hard, go.
I think you guys were in chat yesterday when I was saying about it, but you could probably fit 8, maybe 8 in there, like if they were situationed properly, and then the doors open, and then they just all drop out, like drop pod style. That's actually the only escape pod gameplay we've got in the game, and we've had escape pods since day one, pretty much.
Yeah.
So,
Also true.
I think the exosuit opens like some gameplay for the first proper game of tennis in game, where you could use an A2 bomb and just have 2 exosuits just launching the A2 bomb at each other and
is it
like
hot
catching
potato?
it and then throwing it back.
Hot potato the game in it?
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, the
I
one
don't
where
know.
you throw in the grenade and then you got to yeet it before the grenade goes off.
Yeah, like I'm
So you
not sure.
just-
There's probably someone that's tried that in Evo, but
Yeah.
that's what I'm going to be testing when I first get my hands on it.
Well, you can absolutely frustrate a box across like an open plane because you can throw them at great pace.
Yeah.
So imagine if you've got I don't know, is there a football anywhere in game? Is there like an
There's a
actual
Pico
football?
ball. There's a
There's-
Pico ball, which could
Yeah,
be
if there's an
classed.
actual ball, you could pick that up and just like start throwing it at people. Like you actually start playing like handball.
I mean,
in the
combat
verse.
wise, like, can you imagine using this like if you're in a station and you're walking down a corridor and you're getting shot at and you've got a team of guys behind you and there's like a vending machine which currently can block projectiles and has no health. You just tractor beam the vending machine in the way and just send it down the hallway and knock people off, like, and just like move down or use it as a shield. Like, there's some creative things you can definitely do with it.
I kind of hope CIG remove the 5-minute timer for the Colossus bomb and the storm. Is it Storm Strike? The A1 bombs, because currently, regardless, at 5 minutes they explode for like just a timer reason. But if they remove that, imagine having the back of like your A2, a C2, or a Caterpillar, or something that's big enough to hold primed Colossus bombs in, just stood there, and then you can just throw them out at ships. If a ship is chasing directly behind you, you can just throw it out the back directly at them, and they won't expect it because they're in atmosphere, aren't they? Or not in atmosphere. You can throw them out back.
Citizen of the Verse says, could toss quantum boxes, like
At people.
Yeah,
like cargo boxes
Yeah.
that explode after too much damage. Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
I have a clip of what happens if you throw a cargo box at someone. So this is 0.
Oh, look at that. Headshot.
Oh,
Someone gets yeeted.
Uh,
Oh, I forgot about this. Let me go back to it. There's a little.
Did any of you guys
At the
play
end.
Super Smash Mario Brothers? Did any of you guys play
Game!
Super Smash Mario Brothers?
yep.
no.
Yeah,
Big
you know
fan.
that, like when you got the baseball bat and you're charging it up and then you get the right hit and you get that noise, it's like chee. It's like that.
It's
That is
nice because everything freezes for that split second, and then game.
the game's just calculating mathematically where that person's going to be launched to. It's like,
Oh, my mind went
there's something
to
that's
Team Rocket blasting off again.
I think you might have seen it one dark because it's in one of the other servers. I don't know if Ethan, you're in that one, but do you know you've got the decor items now where you can get like the seats and stuff like that. Imagine sitting in the decor item and getting a mech to yeet that seat. You're gonna fast travel to Pyro pretty quick. Like you're gonna open your own transit highway, wormhole, whatever you call it. Well, now. You're just gonna yeet your way to Pyro just in a Drake seat.
Musical chairs. Just see how it goes.
That'd be funny. That'd be funny as hell.
Yeah.
Did anyone watch there's a YouTuber, he does like Call of Duty content, but it's like Swifter, and he plays Simon Says. I don't know if anyone's ever seen that, but he basically plays Simon Says on Call of Duty and then kills people and they don't do the job properly. Imagine that
No.
now. You play it in Star Citizen and just be like, Simon Says do this, and then such and such do this, and someone does it. You right? Get in the seat. It's the space you go, and just yeet them. That'd be
Oh,
quite fun.
blimey. Yeah.
But,
You could do like a Star Citizen Takeshi's Castle, you know.
mm.
That'd be quite interesting.
What if you can pick up primed frag grenades, like hand grenades?
That's another thing. I was thinking, how good would it be as like a missile defense? Like if you got a missile lock, what's the range of that tractor beam, and can it like if you pointed it at the the missile coming in, would
Could
it
you
actually
catch it?
stop it in time? Yeah, could you catch it or send it off course or something like that?
Probably a torp, because torps are slower, aren't they?
Maybe. I mean, the size that they are, you think yes, but it's just the speed of what they go at.
Yeah.
But like, can you imagine just like having two of these suits on a 890 jump, and you got torpedoes coming in, and it's like boop, and then just they send it back, return to
Return
sender.
to sender. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when you hit the gas ball on Minecraft and you send it back to the gas, like that. You just throwing these projectiles back at the person that gave them to you.
Good.
That'd be funny.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, mech, nice surprise. I really like it. And I like the paints that they've got coming with them. And in terms of like the stuff that they have unannounced coming out, I don't think they're taking anything away from it. I think the Saber Peregrine takes more away than these exosuits do.
I wonder, like, if obviously we know it's Argo, right? So you have a mech suit somewhere around, and then an Argo mole rocks up with full saddlebags. The mech suit's on the ground at like a refinery outpost, takes the saddlebags off of them, the mole, then puts new ones on so it can go back out again. And like does that. Like
Like a
what
pit
else have we
stop.
got in Argo? Yeah, like a little pit stop. But like we've got a lot of ships that can do that now in Argo. Like
Yeah.
the Empovs, we've got all three of them. I wonder if the mech suit can throw an Empov. Quite fun.
I want to know if you power down whilst you're sat in one, can someone else yeet you in yours?
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
There needs to be some
I'm pretty
science
sure.
happening.
Imagine if it can yeet you at an enemy ship that's flying past, and then you power up whilst you're being yeeted, and then tractor beam onto that, that enemy ship.
Science, isn't it?
Yeah, that's going to be so fun. There's going to be so many clips on there.
You need the VoIP and VoIP on there so you can get your character to just be like
Leroy.
go into space.
It's going to be very fun.
So other ships on the line.
The only ones are the Zeus. Be interesting to see whether the how big the internals of the Zeus are going to be, because that's going to be a very good day if maybe the Zeus gets released on a 0.24x patch, then these mech suits get released on a 0.24x patch.
I've got.
And then they fit in the back of each other. Oh.
I've got something to confess. I think the Zeus is the first time I've ever wanted a ship to be worth more than what it actually came out as price wise in real money.
Is that because you're upgrading?
Because that is because I have a Freelancer Max. It's the only reason why it's still in my hangar is pure nostalgia, because that was the ship that I was running about in the hangar module, couldn't fly it, playing with the steering wheel, loving it, having a great time. Misk has not had any love in a long time, apart from the whole seat, but like it's got a lot of love needed to happen to like the Freelancer series, and even to some extent just the whole like brand across it. So I was like, why can this Zeus not be like the Zeus CL specifically be like $5 more expensive than the Freelancer Max? That would be perfect, because I would upgrade straight away.
To some of the people, just brief interlude here. So, for some people who could be in chat now or will be watching this on YouTube, might notice a nice garment that Hyperion has got on, which is probably what's causing him to look a little bit sleepy at the moment. It's
I love it.
It's very comfortable, keeps you nice and warm, and obviously with the winter coming, it's a fantastic addition to your wardrobe. Plus, it lowers your energy bills and stuff around the house. But yeah, Hyperion looks like he's struggling to stay awake a little bit there. How you doing, champ?
We're almost shilling for them. It's
Great.
crazy, and we're not shilling for them.
Nah,
I've got
everything's
one.
good.
It's just it's too
I'm
hot
just
to wear
listening.
it right now. But yeah, Udi is the one. I like Nightbot has stepped in at the right moment. Brilliant. How, because you've had it a couple of weeks now. He famously fell asleep on stream with it on. Yeah, how have you been getting on with it?
Oh, it's great. I wear it all the time. It's like 80 to 84 degrees outside. It's 69 degrees in this room. So it's great.
To us
Yeah.
UK folk, you're boiling right now. Approaching the evaporating point of water.
That is true.
I would honestly love to get my hands on one. I got one for my partner, and like the moment sort of October, November, December hits, it's like, boom, like
Spice,
that's it.
spice,
Just wear it.
was it pumpkin spice is now in the shops, so it's getting there. It's getting to that point. Anyway, interlude
They need
over.
to do a Star- They need to do a Star Citizen Udi.
They
That's
do.
what they need to do. They need.
Could you imagine if they
Yeah,
did
yeah,
the
yeah.
Ports of Stanton, like the shirt, but an Udi?
Yeah.
I mean, the design's already there. Just
Pico one.
make it. Or a Pico
Yeah,
one.
that'd be
They could do a lot with that.
Oh, Pico Udi, or just even manufacturers, you know, like that could be
Pico
interesting.
Udi.
Goody.
Picudi.
Anyway,
If they did an Origin bathrobe, I'd probably get that, so I could walk around and look rich.
nice. However, back to the Zeus.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for the Zeus.
I have
And
the
as
MR.
well, yeah, but the Zeus, they're all going to go up in price as well. So again, if there is anyone in chat or watching on YouTube, you are going to want to get yourself some of those CCUs if they maintain the price, or try and get one from friends, because those prices are going to go up massively. And if anyone's seen any of the potential silhouettes for the Zeus, they are big. So they're definitely going to want to go up in price by a decent amount.
I've sat in chat with people and I've heard many people go, "Oh, it's gonna like the CL is gonna beat the C1, like the Zeus cargo variant is gonna beat the C1, which is the Spirit cargo variant," and I'm just like, totally different purpose, quite frankly, and I love my C1. I think it's a great runner. It's quick, which if you've got a cargo ship is really important. Would I like to get the Zeus CL as well? Yes, I probably would switch my Freelancer Max from that to the Zeus CL, just for how it looks. And from what they've said on Inside Star Citizen, where they said this is like the next level of ship design, they've gone up to a whole new different tier. It's going to be really well laid out. This is sort of like the final. They've been implementing different methods into their ship design for some time, so we're starting to see stuff come out and be almost gold pass straight away. And the Zeus is like the first sign of that, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be. Again, I think we spoke about this before. I am weary of the Zeus release. I feel like they're trying to offload some stuff to us now to butter us up, and my camera's just disappeared.
Oh,
Turn around. What's going on there? But I think my camera's
I
going
love
to
it.
disappear in a minute because my phone is turning off. But yeah, I think what was going to my phone's turned off.
Do you want me to
and-
navigate
oh,
like?
I think
I thought it was
So
going on.
someone's tractor beamed him to the side of the room.
I've just been yeeted by an ATLS mech. No, I think they're offloading some of the content they've got for 4.0 into a 2.4.x patch because, and pains me to say it, I believe it's delayed. I feel like it's pushing that patch back a bit, and they're trying to release some content to butter us up before they announce it.
Yeah.
But that's my opinion, and I'm hoping it's not true. But with the mech release as well, I'm kind of getting a little bit more confident in my hypothesis. Don't know anyone else, but
I'm happy. I'm always like, I welcome the delays. Like, I know a lot of people get like yeah, it's just White Knight. It's like, how many games have I played where they've just been sent out and what you've received is absolute crap?
yeah,
This, if you want to take your time and enjoy the stuff that comes out, which I can't really say this patch has been a good example of that. It hasn't. But we're still on the road. I mean, God, I was EVAing around in the early days, picking up bottles of whiskey and boxes of cigars, like putting it in your inventory and not like, well, you just press F and you got credits. There was no inventory. Like, we've come a long way and we're still going. And the thing I'm most excited about that's around the corner is server meshing. And the ships that are going to be opened up with that sort of tech being available, it's going to be really exciting to see. That's a dirty ship on CJ's picture. Why are we endorsing Alien
right.
Phil?
So,
I quite like that little ship.
So I hated it, right, when it got released. I think it's such a stupid looking ship. And to be fair, there's still a part of me that hates like the way it looks. But I don't know if anyone's ever done any racing, and well, before it was nerfed against the Sulan, when they come zooming past you, because they are fast as fuck, and when they come zooming past you, they are a scary monster of a ship to get overtaken by. And there is a little bit now more of an element of love for it. I'm enjoying it. So much to say, I've actually got one of my referral gifts is now a Sulan. So I'm gonna, I'm a little bit upset we didn't get Biz for a Sulan, even though actually I did vote for it. So yeah, my mind's settled on that one. But yeah, that shit needs a little bit more love, and I can tell Hyperion's already bored. It's like alien filth. I'm going to go to sleep now.
Yeah, honestly, it's not it's not ET phone home, it's ET go home. Like, we don't want you here. Like, this is what I'm talking about.
Well, I am here
Right,
to
Hyperion?
stay.
Like, help me out here.
I concur.
Can we get some like like someone in chat, please tell me, alien ships, yay or nay? What do you think of them?
I think it's still got to be yay, isn't it? Even if it's not for you, it will be for someone else. And I have seen occasionally on the fleet viewers that there are people who mainly consist of just alien ships, and that's fine. I don't particularly
Is
like
it though?
being bathed in the red light and not being able to see where the damage is on my ship and stuff. So for me, they're a bit of a downside. I do have the glaive. I do love the glaive, but yeah.
I can't wait if they do expand on mechs. If Banu or someone like that decide to have their go at like an organic mech, I could get behind that because I know exactly what I want it to look like already.
Something squishy.
Not something squishy, something fucking scary that probably terrorized someone during their childhood.
That
I
is
think
creepy.
we're like, one of the things that they're limited with is, like, we have a lot of utilitarian ships for like humanity in lore, and in game. When it comes to aliens though, the Banu, they have the Banu merchantman. The Vandal have a mining ship of some sort, supposedly there. But in terms of like races like the Tavaran and stuff, there's not a lot of utilitarian stuff available that competes with human stuff. and I think that's certainly an area where they could open it up. Like, can you imagine a Tavarin exosuit? Like what that could potentially look like?
Like a
Um,
big ass bird.
like a big, like big bird might have like be less durable, be faster, and look more sleeker. Like, you know,
It's less durable, a reference to the hollow bones, hollow
yes,
bird bones. Okay.
snap the little birds. Aliens, aliens,
If,
mate,
if
not
we can,
okay.
if we can see an alien mech that has the lasers, the three
From
lasers,
District 9,
uh,
and then you just see red mist.
yeah, like just something that's just reminiscent of like the Predator, Alien Predator stuff creeped me out when I was a child watching it. And if we could have something very similar, like a Predator mech that has, little rocket pods on the shoulders, depending on what Predator it is, it's got the tech there. Like he's got little gun, not gun. Oh, yeah, it's a little gun on his forearm, isn't it? Actually,
I,
yeah.
I,
Yeah.
So he's there. Like he's got everything.
I really like. I absolutely can't stand the ATSCAV sniper rifle, which is like the Tesla like electric one.
Yeah.
Like, what I would love to see is them sort of like flesh that out. Like the smaller weapons might like tase people, but if they made like a heavy variant of it, that it would just like connects to like organic matter that's close by, um, and just once it connects, it will chain through. And if you're on an exosuit that's got like a heavier version of it, and there's 3 guys in front of you that aren't very well armored up, they just burst. Like they're just like red
Yeah.
mist gone. Like that would be cool to see. Um, I
I'd
don't
love,
endorse combat. But,
I'd love to see the mech implemented with a size 1 hardpoint, and it can take ship weapons.
I
Imagine
think
fleet on the ground with distortion cannons, or having like this sledge or the strife mass drivers would be pretty cool. Like the mass drivers, which like negate shields completely and just
Yep.
destroy anything in its way. Like if a small arrow comes down and there's a couple of mechs on the ground with strife mass drivers, it's going to shoot your wings off pretty quickly. Be
yeah,
quite cool.
even just like some mantis, like autocannon, just like on the wrist, going down a corridor, and you just seeing the flashing of the gun, and you're just like, I don't want to go down there, Sarge. No,
Yeah.
I'm gonna run away.
But different types of like weapons as well. Where you've got like the green lasers, the red lasers, the blue distortions,
They got
and then
all kinds of
ballistics coming
aids.
down. Yeah, all kinds of lasers.
No more lasers.
I think that would be pretty cool. But I think the best one's going to be your scatter guns.
I want to
You can have a
see.
scatter gun on it.
I want to see like a riot control, like exosuit that's got like a shield, and that could be used to just go down the hallway, and then like the other arm might be like a power fist or something like that. So you
Power
can,
fist.
Me and
yeah,
Wondorf actually spoke about this the other day. We know what ship's coming. We got the Legionnaire coming. And imagine the Legionnaire docks onto a ship and then opens the door to the boarding party, and the motherfucking boarding party is mechs. And we know they've done fire propagation. Imagine if one's got a flamethrower on his forearm.
I mean, if the corridor's too small, you're gonna have a hard time. But it'll be a real Darth Vader moment if like the ship's taking damage, the lights are out, the red alarms, like the red alert signals are going, like spinning around, and you've got 5 of your last guys holding that last bit, and the door opens, and there's a huge exosuit there with a shield,
Oh,
and it just smacks the first guy straight out the way, and everyone's just like, oh, just running away from it.
or the door opens and it's just the cargo mech, but it's just yeeted a pico at you at like 2,000 miles an hour and just instantly vaporized.
I mean, it's
And
gonna
you
look.
got that teddy bear.
It's gonna look something like this.
There we go.
Like, oh my god, no!
Kill it! No, no,
Obligatory.
Magnus, no.
Ah!
Wait,
It's gonna be so cool.
there's a bit where he throws one of them up like to the top. That's definitely the tractor beam. Wait, there we go. That's definitely mining laser and tractor beam combo. There you go. That's gonna do it.
That speaks
Well,
some
we all
truth
know
here.
the
I
Morgan
was not a
laser is
fan of
the
Rogue One
DPS
whilst I
weapon.
was in the cinema watching it. Tractor beam, whoosh.
Boop.
But then the end scene here, ugh. I was like, wow, that's insane.
From a fan of, like, I love the prequels and the originals. Like, I
Mm.
think Rogue One nailed it. The space combat, and like they paid really good homage. Like the main storyline was okay, but the the environment and like the combat choreography and stuff like that was perfect. And I like the touch where they actually added some of the original old footage into like the pilots and stuff like that.
That'd be pretty good.
I digress.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I think we could probably
Wrap
end
it.
on a
That's-
on a question.
I think Hyperion's
When
wrapping it.
is well, he's already wrapped it. When's
I'm here.
when's PTU going live? Because I want to get my hand on one of these mechs.
For science, there's gonna be so much science.
It's gonna be so. It's gonna get me to get back into the game.
How much do you want to see
That-
them at? Like
I
They
think
they should not be any more than $50.
$50.
Not nowhere. I don't even think they're nowhere near.
It got to be
I think
20.
they're going to be 25. Yeah, like
I-
20, 25. I
I
think
I
they're
think-
going to be. Sorry, I think they're going to be just like the. Is it the PTV that you
Mm,
can buy them?
that's
But you can't
15.
upgrade from them.
Oh
I
yeah.
think they're going to be like that. And they're not
I
going to be
think-
a vehicle.
I think it's going to be more than that purely because like it's got new gameplay mechanics that they've added into it.
That's not.
So
It's just same gameplay.
yeah, it does. No,
Yeah,
like in
it's-
terms of like how the character moves when they're using the ship, there's a lot more that's gone into this than just say a new hover bike or something like that. Plus, it's the first exosuit of its kind. I think it's gonna be. I think it will probably be around like 50, maybe like I don't probably 60. And then
can't
people
be-
just go,
nah,
what the?
I cannot see it being any more than $50. No
it
more than
can't be
$50.
any. You think of what vehicles are sold at that level. It doesn't have that same functionality. Let's face it. What functionality does it have? To pick and move boxes.
Yeah.
Well,
It claps around.
the MPOV 1T can do exactly the same thing and fly.
It might be like 45 war bond. Like, but I imagine the price of it after its initial release will be around.
I'd be disappointed if it was that. I'd like to see it 20, 25.
Yeah.
That's like
Because
Mirai Pulse territory.
if they're
like,
gonna bring in variants, then they need to have a price point to go to for them. So imagine the Cyclone lineup. The AA is pretty expensive compared to just the base model. We could see something similar here. Get jetpacks on it. Get a couple of
I think
missile
they're
pods.
also gonna. I also
Yeah.
think they're gonna release not in the ship store. I think they'll release in the gear store. So they will be completely out of that CCU sort of gameplay. It'll be because technically it is gear, like it's an exosuit. Like it's not a vehicle platform. But again,
I
we don't
agree
know,
with you.
and yeah, we shall see.
definitely.
No more than 30. I'll be angry. I'll still buy them, but
Credits will do fine.
yeah. So yeah, when do you reckon PT's going live then? My bet's 4 days.
Yeah, I think by the end of the week.
Yeah, I reckon. I'll say 4 days. That doesn't line up. Thursday.
What's your opinion when a new ship comes in, like testing wise, that these like the exosuit and stuff like that is just exclusive to Evo Kati, even though it's gone to Wave 1 in PTU? Do you think that people that are Wave 1 should have access to these new vehicles to test, especially people like subscribers who pay for it, and Wave 1 people who are active and are backing?
I know why it's gone to avocados only, because PTU, when people could move SU container boxes around and they were blocking the hubs and shit like that, so they were trying to probably avoid some bullshittery that's going to come out from the majority of the community. So they've only released it to the ones that have an entitlement because they can have that entitlement removed if they seem to be abusing it. So they're going to give it to the people that can't abuse Ivakai or shouldn't be doing it anyway. But yeah, again, don't matter. It's going to be in our hands sooner or later. I'll be pissed if they pull it from the PTU patch though.
I know we didn't mention it much, but I'm super excited for this year's CitizenCon Digital Goodies Pack. It looks so much better than what we received last year with that dodgy shotgun. When I saw it and all the stuff started coming out, I was like, you know what, I'd like to get. I think I melted it, or like got a refund, pretty much straight away. But this one looks really good.
Cool. Well, I think that's a good
Cool.
pausing point.
So I found someone who's streaming some stuff. I'm not being particularly picky. He's going over some stuff with Chris on screen and Jared. So I'm just going to raid over there. But for those in chat, thank you for checking in. And we will put on an Orion just for you, hyped Evo. Yeah, because I know you've been waiting patiently to talk about the Orion. The guy honestly is so hyped for it. But, right, let's start this raid and we'll catch you Thursday.
See you later.
Raid.
Bye-bye.
Oh, hang on. Let's forget there's a timer with this. So everyone just wave.
No.
Everyone just wave goodbye.
I am waving.
I don't believe you, liar.
Okay, one sec.
Bye. Have a good night.
I am still waving. My Sulen is raving.
Oh no! Don't wave that. Don't want to see that. That's just
Okay.
wrong.